Howdy gamers, Old Gamer Guy here. Welcome to another Stellaris Console Edition video. It is the year 2274, and I guess the big news from the last video is that we detected a Leviathan somewhere in the galaxy. We have seen some large creatures, but I don't think they qualify as Leviathans, so we don't know where the Leviathan is. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, we have just barely gotten started on a brand new colony on this planet in this system. And keep that in mind. We'll come back to that at the end of the video.
Construction complete.
Meanwhile, our construction ship has completed another outpost. We have locked up another nice little defensive choke point. You can see that below that spot on the map there are a bunch of surveyed systems. I would like to build an outpost down here, but I'm running low on influence. Same goes for all of these systems up here. I would love to build an outpost right there, but once again I'm running low on influence. You may remember in the last video that the Kelzin fleet was invading Bok space and really not getting much resistance from the Bok, but apparently the Bok have had enough of that crap and they are pushing back. Here they are retaking one of the outposts that the Kelzin took from them, and now the Bok fleet is pursuing the Kelzin fleet into the next system. So the Bok have had enough. The Kelzin fleet are here trying to take another Bok outpost, but the Bok fleet is closing in and they are stronger, or at least numerically stronger. Those numbers don't mean everything, but they do mean something. And this is going to be a defeat for the Kelzin, so this is not good. We are technically winning this war still, but the Bok are definitely starting to push back.
Construction complete. Special project complete.
Meanwhile, our scientists have completed a special project studying some drones, and they say that the drones and their tireless, endless work of extracting ever-diminishing resources from their local planetoids make for a somewhat dull but nevertheless informative subject of study. In fact, we could stand to learn a thing or two about maximizing mineral extraction rates while conserving energy. Additionally, we have found that the drones are not completely silent. They emit signal pings, though extremely infrequently and at a wavelength hard to isolate from background noise. Whether there is anyone left to receive these pings may be a mystery better left for another time. So we have two choices here. We could classify them as easy prey, and then we would get a drone destroyer modifier, which would give us extra damage against the mining drones. Or we could classify them as fascinating automata, and we would get a 10% bonus to our mining station output. Now that I'm watching this footage, I kind of wish I had chosen the mining station mineral output, but for some reason at the time I thought that damaging the drones sounded good, so I went with easy prey.
System survey complete.
The Derp Coalition and the Skrek entity have been at war for quite a while, but they have just made peace. And it says neither side currently occupies claimed territory belonging to the other, so they have reached a white peace without any border adjustments. So now the Derp are just at war with the Cloud and the Sacred Sirlan Confederacy. Meanwhile, the Bok continue to push back against the Kelzin. Here they are about to retake another one of their lost outposts that the Kelzin took from them. And also the Kelzin have a small fleet of transports, so the Bok are going to take them out.
Technological acquisition successful.
And what the hell, while they're at it, they're going to go over here and attack a small fleet of serene cannabinoid ships that were just kind of passing through. But never mind that for now. We have detected the partial remains of a gas mining station in orbit around Escalion 3, which appears Voltom in origin. So the Voltom news keeps rolling in. The station-keeping thrusters were deliberately fired millions of years ago in an attempt to push the station directly into the gas giant, but a collision with an unknown object prevented this from happening. So now we have a special project to study the gas mining facility, which should prove to be interesting.
Situation log adjusted.
So our scientists continue to do what they do despite the war that's raging around them. And speaking of that, one of our science ships has explored all that they can down this way. So I wanted to send them over to study this system, which has one of those large creatures that I mentioned, but it won't allow me to send the ship there because the creature is classified as hostile. So I'm going to put this ship in an automatic exploration mode.
Special project complete.
We've completed another special project. A mostly intact Voltom spacesuit that previous looters had somehow overlooked has been recovered by our archaeologists. This 4-meter-long tube-like construct has given our scientists new insights into what kind of environments the Voltom preferred. This is an interesting find, and it has given us another Voltom artifact along with some engineering research points. Our 10-year contracts with the curators and the artisan troop have apparently run out. How time flies. So now we can choose to extend those deals or not. I think they're both good deals, even though it's going to cost us 3,000 energy credits for each of these contracts. But from the curators we get extra research speed, and from the artisans we get extra unity. So I think this is a decent deal, and I'm going to re-up on these contracts again. We can always sell some excess minerals and make back these energy credits fairly quickly. I was curious about what would happen here. I knew we couldn't invite the cloud into the Federation right now because we're at war, but I was curious to see what the Galactic League would think about that idea, and apparently if we were not all at war, the cloud would join the Galactic League. So that's something to keep in mind. Meanwhile, the Bok are continuing to push back against the Kelzen. And you can see the Bok are going to take back one of their outposts while a weaker Kelzen fleet just flies on by. And they are going to attempt to leave the system.
Construction complete.
But the Bok fleet is not only stronger, they are faster. And the Kelzen are very slow in warping out, and the Bok fleet is going to catch them, and that is not a good thing for the Kelzen.
Successful.
So like I said, we are still technically winning this war in terms of war exhaustion, but the Bok are definitely pushing back very strongly. And the Kelzen are paying the price and losing quite a few ships here. I think some of them managed to escape, but they lost quite a few ships, and I'm going to replace those ships from my spaceport over here, this shipyard. We're going to build another bunch of Federation corvettes. And here is something that I would like explained if somebody would be kind enough to do it. When this war first began, I tried to send my fleets into Bok space, and I was not allowed to do it. For some reason, and I don't even really know why I did this, but for some reason I tried to do it again, and this time it worked. So I am sending one of our fleets into Bok space to attack one of their outposts. So I'm really not sure why I'm suddenly able to do this when I wasn't able to do it before. So if somebody could explain that to me, I would be very grateful. But here is our fleet attacking a Bok outpost. And our corvettes are clearly armed with lasers, while the Kelzen fleet appears to be armed with projectile weapons. And the projectile weapons seem to do a quicker job against these outposts than the lasers do, but we are going to take this outpost from the Bok. There's one Bok destroyer that flew by there in the background. But we have taken a Bok outpost.
Hostile fleet assets engaged.
While we were there, another fleet of 5 Bok destroyers showed up. And we lost our destroyer here in our fleet, but we managed to defeat them.
Construction complete.
And we have earned another tradition point. So lots going on here. We're working on the domination tree. We could either increase our governor level cap, or we could reduce crime on all our planets, and I'm going to go with that. The PlayStation Network is still operating under a defensive war policy, and I thought that was why I couldn't send my ships into Bok space early on in this war. But for some reason now I can, so I don't know if I did something wrong early on or if something changed. So if somebody could explain that to me, I'd be very grateful. But meanwhile, our victorious fleet is going to repair and reinforce in the Sassen system.
Executing evasion protocols.
And I was just about to watch another Bok retaliation battle when we encountered some strange aliens. They are classified as TAW aliens, and so now we have a special project to study them. We can investigate them, but let's check out the map and see where these aliens are, because I thought we had met everybody. All of the empires in the galaxy. But our science ship has stumbled across some large creatures here that look like the large creatures that we saw before in another star system. So here's the new encounter, and the other encounter was over here. And yeah, they look the same. I believe these are called space amoebas, but we are going to study them and figure it out. Meanwhile, the Bok are attacking the outpost that we took from them, and our outpost is going to successfully defend itself. So that's good. Meanwhile, in this system, we have an outpost that was taken by the Kelzen, and the Bok have sent a single destroyer to attack it, which is kind of interesting. Seems like a bad idea. Maybe the Bok are having a hard time keeping their fleet supplied with enough ships. I don't know, but this does seem sort of encouraging. If you look in the lower left-hand corner, those percentages, I believe, stand for war exhaustion, and the Galactic League appears to have a nice advantage over the Bok. So we are winning this war. But this battle goes on and on and on. I don't think we really need to watch the whole thing. But it is an encouraging sign. You can see a few missiles being fired by the outpost. Most of them, I think, are being destroyed, but some of them might be getting through to hit that destroyer.
Special project complete.
But meanwhile, we have completed our study of those large creatures, and they are indeed space amoebas. They are larger than a Corvette, but I don't think they qualify as Leviathans, but we have another special project to study them further. Here we have another Bok fleet taking back another outpost that was taken from them. And over here we have a Kelzen fleet and a cannabinoid fleet, and they look like they're trying to warp out. The Bok fleet is just going to ignore them, fly all the way across the system, and warp out. So they move around a lot faster than we do, apparently. You can see the Bok have a bunch of ships up toward our space. I don't know if they're kind of paranoid about us or what they're doing, but they've got a bunch of ships there. But if you recall, I said to keep in mind this planet where we had just begun a new colony. And the reason I said that is because I completely forgot to assign a governor to this planet. So all this time, this planet has had no governor. So we need to recruit a new one. We've got 3 to choose from. I think the one in the middle is the one I went with. Lower building cost, lower district cost, and a faster build speed. So yeah, yet another example of why I'm just so bad at this game, because I forget to do things. But now our new colony has a governor, and I think on that happy note, we're going to go ahead and end this video right here. Our war is going well. There's a Leviathan somewhere in the galaxy, so we got to watch out for that. But we'll see what happens in the next video. As always, for now, thanks for watching.